I just finished watching Dingo Story featuring Haeyoung and Taehyung, and I had to talk about it because I'm feeling very emotional right now. So this is a bonus episode of Off by Purple Heart podcast. Hi, I'm Monique. I am the host of Off by Purple Heart podcast, where I talk about K-dramas and C-dramas and BTS and anything else I feel like talking about. And I had to do an impromptu episode because I just finished watching Dingo Story on YouTube, which featured Taehyung and a beautiful, beautiful ARMY BTS fan named Haeyoung. And the English subtitles were just put up. And I'm still feeling a little teary-eyed because she is a fan of Tae, a fan of BTS, and she got to meet him, and it was a surprise, and it was just filled with a lot of emotion. And she is in training to go into the military, and just the way that Tae was watching her as she was going through what she thought was preliminary interviewing while they were like establishing the setting up shop, while Tae is kind of secretly watching her. And he's so nervous, and he's like, oh, should I go over there? You know, I should go over there. And when he finally is introduced to her, her eyes, oh my god, she's just so beautiful. Like, she just has such a sweet soul to her. She just seems like a really gentle person. And then they basically have like a friend date where they just do a bunch of great stuff together. They have delicious food. They go to the arcade, of course, because Bangtan is always ultra competitive, so they play some arcade games, and he's beating her, and she's like, hey, aren't you supposed to take it easy on me? And it's like, no, BTS are always competitive. But she ends up getting him back because I think they have like a game of darts, and she ends up winning that. And then they go get prizes, and it's just all so sweet. And then it kind of winds down to the car ride, coming home, coming back down from everything, and they start to kind of open up to one another. And it was really moving to me too, because she had mentioned, you know, she's been sick, and she's been dealing with a lot of stressors, and she's someone that it's hard for her to open up to people, so it takes a lot for her to build that trust and really build that sense of community and friendship and kinship with one another. And Tae also kind of reveals to her that in middle school and when he was younger, and we definitely have heard about this as fans as well, that he had a hard time with connecting with people, and that it took a while for him to open up as well, to then gain some friendships. And he said that at one point he thought people hated him. And it kind of reminds me of this really cute interview that BTS did, where they were sending secret messages to one another around a table. And, you know, one of the messages Hobie had written for Tae was for everyone in the group to tell Tae that they like him because he really responds well to positive feedback. And I remember just the look on his face, like that smile was like so magical, and that's always kind of stuck out in my mind as an interaction. I think during the B era too, Tae and Hobie kind of sat down and did like an interview, and I remember Tae saying like he really does look to Hobie a lot for not necessarily critique, but he does look for his guidance a lot, and he really appreciates positive affirmation from Hobie, not even just from the dancing standpoint, because Hobie is the dance leader for BTS as well, and I know all the guys really feel amazing when Hobie gives his like thumbs up of approval for their choreography. And their choreography is always like super intense. All the members bring it, but you know, Hobie has that je ne sais quoi, right? And I remember thinking that. And then I also think of, you know, JK and him saying, you know, his dream as well would just be to like kind of meet fans in a casual setting where it isn't, that barrier of artist and fan where you just have people kind of screaming at you and it feels really surreal and distorted, not really like a normal human interaction, because there is that power balance when you are that public figure. But just to have like a normal drink or just like a normal hangout and then go your separate ways, and just to kind of ask Army, like, why did you invest in our group? What is it about us that truly drew you to us, our music, and to our content and our variety shows and everything? Like, what keeps you loyal to the fan base? So I just thought that this was just a brilliant premise to have, for them to just sit down and actually have a meal together, have fun, be able to talk and open up for a little bit. And then as the episode concludes, it's like short 13 minutes. And then afterwards, she just starts bawling. And she was saying that this would be one of those moments that she'll never forget. Of course, how could you forget like something like that when you meet your idol, you meet someone that you admire, you love their music, you love their personality, and they get you through really hard parts of your life. Music has such a powerful memory to it, and we have so many of our own personal memories that are tied into music. It's just one of those powerful triggers, and I don't think music really gets enough respect by just how much it can help save someone's life, like especially if you're going through really low periods, especially when you're fighting with health issues and anything else, because there's so much just right now in the world happening, that just having that sense of relief from your favorite artist, even them just doing like variety content, them showing up, doing a live and just joking around with the fans, like it can do so much for so many. Like a lot of musical artists, just public figures in general, have a lot of power to sway someone's day, and I just love that they were able to connect on that level. There's something about the BTS and ARMY relationship. There's a lot of people that talk about it, and a lot of times outside of the fandom, it's in very negative connotation. They talk about the more obsessive side of the fandom. They talk about like the minority part that are very loud and unfortunately cast a shadow. But I have also witnessed a lot of incredible things within the fandom, and I've heard a lot of people's personal testimonies about just how much BTS music has changed their lives and have helped them in through really, really dark moments. And I too have talked about my journey with BTS and their music. I've talked about it a lot on my TikTok, and I think this kind of scenario would be the dream for many. I don't know how I personally would be in that circumstance. I'll be honest, I'd probably be really quiet. I probably wouldn't say much. I'd probably just be, like I don't know if I would be able to articulate myself really well. And I'm not someone to get starstruck at all. But I genuinely don't know if I would be able to carry myself with that amount of grace and that amount of humor and just that amount of warmth and light. I think Haehyung was just really sweet, and I genuinely wish her well, and I hope life continues to treat her with a lot of kindness, and I hope the same for Tae as well. And I'm really looking forward to Layover coming out. I am really, really looking forward to my pre-order coming in. But I just had to do like a drop-in episode just about this, because I just think it's the sweetest thing I've ever seen. And I'm a little bit more composed now, but I was just like tears were just falling down my face, and I'm like, oh my god, we need to get it together. So that's it for my podcast. This is just very impromptu. I didn't think I was gonna do one, but I was like, you know what, to hell with it, I'm just gonna post one anyways. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you. Please share with your friends. If you're listening on Spotify as well, feel free to share that as well. And I'm looking to expand this podcast beyond Spotify as well. Till the next episode. Bye.